Salutations, earthly beings. I am a wingless angel, and I have been called to provide wisdom to you so that you can live a happier life. I will be reading from this book that contains very useful material. But for you, earthly being, to properly register this information in your mind, you will need to smell this flower. It's very magical. It will help the information you receive to stay in your mind. All I need to do is spray this oil there you go. Okay, now that you have been properly prepped for this, I will begin by reading the preface. What drives our decisions in life? As individuals, we may be influenced by our families, our friends, or our environment. But the basis for the decisions we make can be reduced to one basic component of life: values. Whether they be lofty or lowly, noble or despicable, personal values are at the core of how we live. In the pages that follow, I share a few principles that are the building blocks for an abundant life. Through decades of counseling others and through my own experiences, I have seen these truths yield lifelong stability and spiritual prosperity. Now, what is it you seek? A deep and satisfying marriage, meaningful friendships, abiding faith? Learn these most basic values, write them on your heart, and live by them. Your life will be richer for it. Now, let's begin. One of the secrets of successful living is found in the word balance, the avoidance of harmful extremes. We need food, but we should not overeat. We should work, but not make work our only activity. We should play, but not let play rule us. Throughout life, it will be important to find the safety of the middle ground rather than imbalance of the extremes. Next, this is the way to be successful in life. Treat every person as you want to be treated. Look for ways to meet the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of those around you. Suppress your desire to be selfish and seek an unfair advantage over others. Try to turn every encounter with another person into a new, stronger friendship. Then, when this confidence with people is combined with hard work, your future success is assured. Next, the overwhelming feeling of being in love is not a very reliable emotion during the early years, or at any age. This intense affection can evaporate in a matter of days, leaving the person confused and perhaps unhappily married. The only way to know you are in love with another person is to give yourself plenty of time to get acquainted. Once the decision is made to marry, your commitment to one another will be much more important than your feelings, which are certain to come and go. The sun is very uncooperative. Next, Feelings are neither right nor wrong. It's what you do with them that causes the problems. Next, if you are going through difficult times, hold steady. It will change soon. If you're experiencing smooth sailing and easy times now, brace yourself. It will change soon. The only thing you can be certain of is change. Next, whenever two human beings spend time together, sooner or later, they will probably irritate one another. This is true of best friends, married couples, parents and children, or teachers and students. The question is, how do they respond when friction occurs? There are 4 basic ways they can react. 1. They can internalize anger and send it downward into a memory bank that never forgets. This creates great pressure within and can result in disease and other problems. Or 2. They can pout and be rude without discussing the issues. This further irritates the other person and leaves him or her to draw his or her own conclusions about what the problem may be. 3. They can blow up and try to hurt the other person. This causes the death of friendships, marriages, homes, and business. Or 4. They can talk to one another about their feelings, being careful not to attack the dignity and worth of the other person. This approach often leads to permanent, healthy relationships. Next, us. Next, your life is before you. Be careful of the choices you make now that you could regret later. This regret is the subject of an old poem whose author has been forgotten. I hope you'll never have a reason to apply it to yourself. And the poem goes as follows. Across the fields of yesterday he sometimes comes to me, a little lad just back from play, the boy I used to be. He looks at me so wistfully when once he's crept within, it is as if he hoped to see the man I might have been. Next. God is entitled to a portion of our income not because he needs it, but because we need to give it. Next. There will come a day when young people will want to move out and establish a home of their own, perhaps much sooner than their parents would wish. After that time, a mother and a father will be more like friends than parents. And someday, if the parents live long enough, their children will be more like parents to them than sons or daughters. Next, take a great breath of air and then blow it out. Contained in that single breath were at least 3 nitrogen atoms that were breathed by every human being who ever lived, including Jesus Christ, William Shakespeare, Winston Churchill, and every president of the United States. This illustrates the fact that everything we do affects other people positively or negatively. That's why it is foolish to say, do your own thing if it doesn't hurt anybody else. Everything we do affects other people. Next, overcommitment and time pressure are the greatest destroyers of marriages and families. Human worth does not depend on beauty, intelligence, or accomplishments. We are all more valuable than possessions of the entire world simply because God gave us that value. This fact remains true even if every other person on earth treats us like losers. Next, The first 5 minutes of everything are vitally important, especially to a new friendship, a family during the early morning hours, a dad who has just come from work, a television program, a salesman's presentation, a visit at the doctor. Those first few moments of any human activity set the stage for everything that follows. If we begin our task properly, we will probably be successful over the long haul. Therefore, spend more time preparing for the first 5 minutes than any comparable period of time. God made each of us individually. Comparison is the root of all feelings of inferiority. The moment you begin examining other people's strengths against your most obvious weaknesses, your self-esteem starts to crumble. Now, those who are the happiest are not necessarily those for whom life has been easiest. Emotional stability results from an attitude. It is refusing to yield to depression and fear, even when black clouds afloat overhead. It is improving that which can be improved and accepting that which is inevitable. Now, the human body seems indestructible when we are young. However, it is incredibly fragile and must be cared for if it is to serve us for a lifetime. Too often the abuse it takes from early years, from drugs, improper nutrition, sporting injuries, etc., become painful handicaps in later years. Don't marry someone with intolerable characteristics in hopes of changing him or her. If you can't live with someone who drinks or someone who isn't clean, then don't marry that kind of person. The chances of miraculous improvements or changes in behavior are slim. What you see is what you get. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? I want you to take into consideration your life. Your life is this compared to eternity. I am an angel. I am eternal. You are a human being. Your lifespan is all you got on this earth. Use it wisely. Hopefully, this wisdom I have shared will help you and provide you with a long and happy life. Now that I have done my duty, I will watch over you. Hopefully, you do take this wisdom and apply it to your life. If not, that is your choice. But at least you can't say I never told you. Okay, bye. I have to go.